Mike Wazowski is a really simple character to draw, but there does take some finesse to drawing him. So you start with an egg shape, and you can do what I did where you draw a big circle and then on top a smaller circle to help get that shape correct. So as soon as you get the body shape correct, you're going to go about halfway down from the top of that eyelid to the middle, and then you're going to center that circle and put the bottom of the circle for his eye on that middle point. And then the mouth, it's I don't know, just like a shallow half of a circle. Just make sure that the mouth comes in instead of going past the width of the eye. And then you want to look at where the mouth is and the eye and where the arms start in relationship to both of those objects. So you have the left arm where the armpit starts about middle of the mouth, but the right arm, the armpit starts towards the top of the mouth, if that makes sense. And then where do the hands end, right? So I just drew the arms, and then I start the legs, and I look where the knees are, and then where the ankles are, and where the feet come out, and where are the hands in relationship into that. And then the distance, the negative space in between the legs, in between the hand and the leg on each side, that's going to help you get those proportions correct. And I kind of just block in the feet right now. I'm just giving like the gesture of the toes and a little line for the toenails, and then I'll go back in and draw the details of the hands and the claws once you're satisfied with that. So now I'm going to go in and I'm going to draw the shape of the eyeball. It's not a perfect circle because his eyebrow, I keep saying eyebrow, I don't know if that's a brow or a lid, is raised because he's stunned or concerned, right? So you want to make that shape more like an egg. It almost mimics the shape of his body. And then that big open expression, the iris needs to be dead center, and then the pupil needs to be dead center of the iris. And then you've got two lines for the lids, and the closest line to the actual eyeball, or the closest lid, is going to be a thinner shape, and then that top lid is going to come up above where the body is, and that gives the expression of surprise or confusion or just pure stunnedness in this case. Now I shade in the pupil, but I like the idea of a highlight, and then I'm shading in the iris, and then I'm just going to add a little bit of more detail around the eye, giving some value with shading, any line work that you want to add, and I'm not spending a ton of time in that area. Then I'm dropping down and just going to add some teeth. They're just very shallow, not pointy, and then shade that in and add the tongue and shade the back of the mouth even darker. My values do not show up well with this camera. The graphite reflects the light, so you'll have to refer to my picture sample at the end of the video to get a better idea of how much contrast I like when I'm doing a pencil sketch like this. And then the left side of the body is in shadow, or the right side is where you get the highlights, so just keep that in mind. I like when you're doing cartoons to give a heavy outline. You don't always have to, but I'm cleaning up any of my edges, and now just adding some detail of the fingers and the toes and the claws. You can spend as much time and go back through and add more details if you want. And then I'm going to go in and add those horns again, taking into account the relationship between the horn and where that eyelid is raised, how much distance between both the horns, and the size. You don't want those horns to stick way out, meaning you don't want them to be very tall, because then that's not the character of Mike Wazowski. Okay, good luck. This is a great one.